What's up, y'all? Today's video is going to be a Where Are They Now? And we're going to be discussing the iconic 2004 classic, A Cinderella Story. This teen rom-com stars Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray, and it's basically a modern adaptation of Cinderella. Which, by the way, I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but Disney actually did not create Cinderella nor the story of Cinderella. Cinderella, or also it's called The Glass Slipper, that is a old folk tale. It was not created by Disney. It's way older than Disney. It's way older than dirt and life itself. It is very, very old. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm very nosy, so anytime I watch anything, I love to go on Wikipedia to see what the cast was doing before and after they do a project. And for this movie, we're going to see what the cast was doing after this release and just how it affected them in general. Up first, we're going to be talking about Erika Hubbard, and she actually played Madison in the film. She was one of the three mean girls, one of the three popular girls of the school, and she was actually in Save the Last Dance before this movie. After this movie was released, she's had pretty steady work since then. She was on Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, Akilah and the Bee, and The Replacements, and she even started her own foundation for youth and in-risk communities. Next up, we have Katie Cole, who played Caitlin. She was the other mean girl that Shelby was also friends with. According to IMDb, Katie Cole actually was in the OC a year prior, and afterwards she was in this comedy called Horror High. But other than that, it looks like Katie has chosen to step away from the limelight. Julie Gonzalo, who most of us know as Shelby Cummings, actually was on Freaky Friday a year prior to this film coming out. Afterwards, she was on Veronica Mars and also Dallas, and has also stayed in acting, and she actually just welcomed a child not too long ago. Next up, we have Simon Helberg, and he actually played Terry in the film, which was the nerd that had a crush on Hilary Duff's character. He only had a couple of acting credits to his name prior, and he was in Van Wilder. Now, afterwards, he was getting steady work in both film and television. He was on Mad TV, of course, Reno 911, and now we know him as Howard in The Big Bang Theory. He also is married with 2 kids. He worked with Meryl Streep. He's been nominated for multiple awards, and he did theater after this. So it's just amazing to see people star in these, what people would see as like teeny bopper movies or rom-coms, and they go on to do amazing things. I mean, The Big Bang Theory was huge, let's not lie. Also, I feel like his performance in this movie gets overlooked. If anyone else had to play a nerd in this movie, they wouldn't have done it like he did it. I feel like he made it very interesting and unique, and he brought a lot to the character. Dan Bird, who played Carter, was in Cougar Town. He was in The Hills Have Eyes, and he was also in Easy A, which is where most of us probably know him from. He currently still acts. In the tabloids, there were talks about him being in a relationship with his on-screen mom, Courtney Cox, but we're not sure how true that is. Madeline Zima, who plays Brianna, actually already had prior acting experience. She's mostly working in television. Before she was in A Cinderella Story, she did King of the Hill, Gilmore Girls, Seventh Heaven, Grey's Anatomy. Afterwards, she started doing Heroes and Twin Peaks. Andrea Avery Ray, who played Gabriella in the film, hasn't had a lot of film or TV appearances. However, she was doing theater. She also has a children's book and actively fights against human trafficking. And she is married with 4 kids. And it's alleged that she does real estate now, but I'm not too sure. Before Regina King was in A Cinderella Story, she was already in multiple classics such as Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Friday, and Jerry Maguire. She did voice the characters Huey and Riley on The Boondocks, and she was in several other TV shows, including The Big Bang Theory whenever A Cinderella Story was over. Now, besides her directing multiple television shows, she is actually a recipient of an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and a Peabody Award. And she has 4 Primetime Emmy Awards. She is a legend. She's been featured in Time Magazine. She does not stop working. She's one of the hardest working people in the business, in my opinion. Not only that, but whenever you see her in anything, you can tell that she loves what she does. Before A Cinderella Story was released, Jennifer Coolidge was already a household name with being on Seinfeld, and also Austin Powers, American Pie, and of course, Legally Blonde. After A Cinderella Story, Jennifer Coolidge has still found work in both film and TV shows, and I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but she actually was on a couple of kids shows and or cartoons. So she was also on Gravity Falls. She voiced some people on American Dad, and she was also on Rick and Morty as well. And we can't forget her iconic cameo in Thank You Next with Ariana Grande. She's also known for her very large support of the LGBT community, and she's also very dedicated to animal rights, and we love that. She's a legend. Chad Michael Murray was actually a newbie whenever he scored his role on A Cinderella Story. He actually was playing a popular rich kid on Gilmore Girls briefly, which I saw that, and I had never seen Gilmore Girls first. I saw him on everything else first. So when I was watching Gilmore Girls one day, I was like, Chad, what are you doing here? I was like, wait. I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is, but it was. It was Chad Michael Murray getting his bag, as he should. And actually, right before Cinderella Story, he was on Freaky Friday with Julie, which is pretty crazy. Freaky Friday did amazingly, of course. And then that's whenever he got his role on One Tree Hill. So he didn't know it, but he was destined for greatness and he was going to succeed regardless. After A Cinderella Story came out, he was on A House of Wax. And he actually wrote a book in 2011 called Everlast. After that, he did get married twice, and he currently is a father of 2 children. Also, I forgot to mention, he was on Dawson's Creek. Like, wow, he was in every single heartthrob, like, teenage TV show back then. Hilary Duff, what can I say about her? So Hilary Duff, of course, was already in Cadet Kelly, Lizzie McGuire, and Cheaper by the Dozen before she was cast in A Cinderella Story. Before the release, Hilary already had a few albums out, and then after the release is whenever her 3rd studio album titled Hilary Duff was released. One thing Hilary is definitely known for is her kindness and her generosity, and she donated $500,000 in 2005 to Hurricane Katrina victims. And she also helped in donating over 2.5 million meals to the victims. She's continued to team up with various organizations throughout the years to help with people that are in natural disasters in general, or also she usually helps out with children as well. Hilary has since released multiple albums since then and has been on countless TV shows and films. She actually made an appearance on Gossip Girl and was also on 2.5 Men and is known for being on Younger and How I Met Your Father. She even was on an episode of The Bachelor. She is currently a devoted mother of 3 and also a wife. She does really well in general, but especially on Instagram and social media, a lot of people really love her. We were supposed to get a Lizzie McGuire reboot, but we will unfortunately not be getting that, it looks like, which I'm so devastated. But she's just the definition, in my opinion, of an entertainer. I mean, she can do it all, including makeup, fashion, and she's an author on top of that. Thank y'all so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if y'all like girly Y2K content. Love y'all. Bye.